Hey guys, Mustang here bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today finally we're going to jump in and do stage 3 of the Battle Hardened Formidable Foes event, which is the Dragon Ball Z edition. I think this is by far the hardest event in the game. It drove me to the point with this one where I finally just quit trying to do it with no items. So I will jump straight into the run here. Let me know how you guys got on with it down below, but let's just go ahead and get into the run. Okay, so stage 3, Dragon Ball Z edition. This is by far the hardest event in the game, I would say. Especially if we're talking about like trying to do it with no items. I probably have lost count at this point how many attempts I've had at this stage. I can tell you that with getting, close to the end and then dying, the runs can take anywhere up to like, they've been anywhere from like 20 to 30 minutes, which means with the multiple failed attempts, it means I've been trying to record this video to beat this stage for hours at this point. And yeah, it's crazy. Obviously, one of the things that's very frustrating is this very first phase against this Vegeta. He has an AoE super that does 2.5 million damage. So basically, unless you can stun him, because he can be stunned, so hopefully STR Kid Buu going to come in clutch here. Unless you stun him, it's a case of like every unit on the rotation has to either be able to eat or dodge a 2.5 million damage super attack. Otherwise, you just die straight away on the first turn. If depending on where he supers, of course, because now that everybody's attacked, if he supers here in slot 3, I think Gloria would potentially still need to dodge because it's my one who's only 55%. It depends how many supers he gets off as well. To be fair, he is doing a lot of additional normals, which is not what we want to see. Okay, he didn't super on the first turn. The problem is no one on this rotation can stun. So we'll go ahead and do that. And get 9 orbs for Buuhan. I mean, we've got the double support from the 2 Glorios, but that's the thing. Like, as good as Buuhan is, he's not going to be tanking a super like before he attacks. Wow, Janemba just not dodging in slot 1. Okay. So it means no additional attack for him. Still no super from Vegeta though, so we take that because Buuhan can do a lot of damage here as well as attack lowering. The Ghost Kamehameha. I mean, if we get the hidden potential, we should just kill him. Oh, only get the hidden potential normal. I should have been more specific. And super, nice. So he just didn't super. Nice. I mean, that's like I say, the number of attempts I've had on this. I think I deserve a little bit of good RNG on this attempt because man. It is crazy. Like, these bosses hit so hard as you get through this event. Even Janemba, like, in Janemba's super easy A is obviously really good. But, like, after he attacks and his dodge drops to, like, 70%, if he doesn't dodge a super, he dies. So, it can be kind of crazy. The run I lost previous to this was Janemba not dodging Kid Buu's normals after he'd attacked. Because Kid Buu gets extra damage every time he gets hit. So it got to the point where he didn't dodge a normal from Kid Buu and it was like 380k. So obviously just about survived. And then he didn't dodge another normal, so I died. And then yeah, attempt after that, got all the way back to Kid Buu. Buuhan got hit with a super. And it was on a turn where he'd picked up like... It wasn't a crazy amount of orbs, I think it was like 7. And yeah, he took 900k, which, because of course Kid Buu builds up damage every time he gets hit. So the more times he's been hit, the more damage he does, although he can also be attack lowered, so it's kind of like a weird balance. But yeah, just unfortunately, just been getting really, really bad RNG. So after all of these attempts, I think we're at the point now where I think when it comes to, if we get to one of those like really clutch moments where it's like, we could lose the run here right at the end if we get really unlucky. I think I might just use an item at this point. Because as much as I want to get them done with no items, I feel like that's, back in the day, no item runs started to become a thing because the whole point was beating an item that was really, really tough with no items was a challenge, and it was like a sign of an achievement to a certain extent, right? Even with like Super Battle Road, if a Super Battle Road stage was really, really easy if you just spam items, but really difficult with no items, then it's more of an achievement to do it with no items. And so from a content creator perspective, it feels like that's a video that people will be more interested in watching, is actually beating the stage with no items rather than just spamming out items left and right. But with this event, my god, like the fact that we just trying to do it no items just died so many times over and over again. It's getting to the point where it's like, maybe I should just beat the stage. And then I mean, it doesn't help, of course, that I didn't pull any of the anniversary headliner LRs except for Blue Evolution Vegeta, and this event is not great for him. Like the Universe Survival Saga team, as good as it can be, there's quite a few units on there that are not good against AoEs. And potentially even not that good against like eating supers, like the physical Blue Kaioken Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta. Like even after they get a few attacks off, if they eat a super from some of these big bosses, then they're just going to die. Now this Frieza is actually the hardest hitting out of all of the bosses in terms of like phase 1. His phase 1, this int final form Frieza, he hits for 3.3 million damage, which is kind of crazy considering he's just the turn 1 like phase 1 enemy. So pretty wild. But we'll do this. Get these for you, because this is the thing, it's hard to know, like it's kind of, I've always said this in the past in like videos when we're doing events and stuff, it's like if you're going to use an item, like if you're going to use one item, you might as well use all the items, right? Because what's the difference? But it's like in this run, if we don't use an item this turn, for example, it could still be the case that Janemba then just doesn't dodge a super after he attacks and then we die. But like on paper, looking at the rotation, like we shouldn't need an item for this turn. Mechicabra's defense will be really good after supering. It's got big bad bosses active. Got a bunch of rainbow orbs for the damage reduction. We're going to attack lower him a little bit here with the Buhan attacks as well. So like in theory, shouldn't need an item, but obviously bad RNG can still always hit you. And that's what's kind of been ruining these runs, right? So I think Fat Boo, they see the thing on the next turn as well is Fat Boo, is it going to be okay to put him in slot 1? Because we're going to have attack lowered so much that normals won't be a problem. But he's already died, and he did get to attack first, so he will be built up a little bit. But that's the thing, it's like, do I use an item here to make sure that Kid Boo is fine, Fat Boo is fine? I don't really want to use his active skill this early, so we can go ahead and do this. We can get the... Actually, do I want to hold off the Dokkan attack so we can get through Cell? Or do I want to just try and blow through full power Frieza with it? Maybe that's the way to go. But yeah, so I mean, he has revived, which means he does have the extra defense. He's got guard. He's got the additional super. He survives KO attacks once. I mean, he's only being hit twice. Well, he's being hit 3 times. So it doesn't matter. The problem with the survive KO attacks mechanic is it leaves you at 1 HP. So it doesn't matter if you survive. If you're getting hit a single other time after that in the entire rest of the turn, you die. So I think I might just go ahead and... What do I want to do here? I'm just going to Ghost Usher. Like I say, I've got to this point now where I've spent long enough recording, trying to get this stage beaten. I just want it done now. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a Ghost Usher here. And now, like I said, if at the end of the day, once you've used an item, you might as well use all the items. So, but that's the big thing, is I do feel like it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this run goes now compared to me trying to record the previous attempts. Because much like Super Battle Road, I think once you do start busting out all the items, it is going to become considerably easier, which, I mean, there's got to be a reason why, right? All of the endgame content that we've been seeing, like Red Zone, Blue Zone, they all limit you to only bringing 1 item. Whereas this event allows you to bring 4. And the reason for that is because it's so hard. Because the enemies hit so hard. Because you think even with like a Whis active, Whis takes off 40% of the damage. That means this Frieza is still hitting for over 1.5 million. With a Whis active. Like, that's ridiculous. Because certain units, depending on where the super is, would still die to that, right? So I probably should have put a better item on than the Senzu Bean. That was just still left on from previous, I think. So let's do this. What defensive items did I actually bring? Yeah, I should have changed the Senzu Bean for like a King Yemma or something. But yeah, I mean, in theory, Janemba should just dodge all of these attacks, right? So do this. And then I suppose we could... Actually, you know what? Let's use this robot guy. Gets rid of the attacks, and then on the next turn he makes the enemy minus 66% attack. And because we're going to attack lower him so much here with our units anyway... Like, I feel like this is going to make such an insane difference. Like, this is kind of what I'm trying to say. Is like, this event is really, really hard when you're trying not to use items. But then when we start using the items, I feel like it's going to be significantly easier. It's still not like a given, like a free win. Because we still got to think carefully about when we're going to use them and everything. But... yeah, obviously Buhan lowers attack himself as well. Glorio lowers attack. So by the time this guy, when we get onto the next rotation, like, he's so attack lowered now because of the item and all the attacks from our units. He's not going to be able to really do damage to anyone anyway. Which, considering this full power freezer hits for 3.6 million, which is quite crazy. So... because, yeah, sometimes I wonder the best strategy to use the items as well is very important. Definitely should have brought a, like, Icarus or a King Yemma instead of the Senzu Bean, though. I will be very careful with when I decide to use the Whis. Alright, well, there we go. So that was kind of a waste of the robot, really, because it ended up basically just being a Ghost Usher, but... go ahead and go into Cell. So Cell does 1 million damage normals. His super does 2.8. So let's see. He's attacking twice in slot 1. So he would do some solid damage to Intbu. I'm getting the Dokkan attack with him as well, which is terrible because he's not really going to do any damage. I mean, I guess best case scenario then is that he just kills him here in slot 1. And then we get to Dokkan attack next turn with Janemba instead. Yeah, that's brutal. Such low HP. We basically need him to super Fat Boo now. Because even though Fat Boo will get a couple of attacks off here, a super will still kill him. Because, yeah, we don't want to be throwing out items too casually as well. Because, like, throwing out a Whis on turn 1, I guess it does allow our characters to build up a little bit for the first 2 turns. But the second phase is kind of where we need the items, because that's where the boss then hits you even harder and potentially has some of these wild mechanics, like hitting harder with each hit they take, which is what makes Kid Buu such an absolute nightmare at the end. So that's the thing, it's not like you can have an item up every single turn. But yeah, we potentially just die now. Kid Buu probably won't survive a super. Mechikabra won't survive a super, I don't think. So that's the problem with Intbu, bringing him on the team to be like the revive merchant, and then he takes so much damage but doesn't actually get killed. It then kind of messes you up for the rest of the turn. I mean, Mechikabra will attack lower him a little bit. And we did get a decent amount of orbs, but he does have big bad bosses with Kid Buu as well. So, I mean, his defense here is very good, and he has type advantage. But we didn't get supered, so... whew. Okay, so where can we get the most orbs here? There's too many of these to, like, clear out of the way. Did I drop any of those in orbs down here? I can get 5. Okay, now we can get 7 from there. Okay. So how about if we use a Whis here, then we should probably be able to kill him this turn, which means we then get a Whis for the first turn of the next Cell phase, which is probably going to be what we want here. Because, yeah, between them, Janemba and Buhan do a lot of damage, like this rotation. Especially when Janemba does get the hidden potential, gets a third super. Yeah, Buhan with the attack lowers as well. That's the thing, when you combine lowering the enemy's attack and then having damage reduction items active as well, that's when we start looking pretty good. The only problem here is that my Glorio, being at 55%, is not going to be very likely to get a lot of crits. So the chances of him killing Cell here are actually a lot lower than I had originally anticipated. If it was the friend Glorio, who's Rainbow, then yeah, I would have been confident that we're going to kill him here. So this is actually kind of annoying. Oh, we just have to rely on Int Janemba to do his thing on the next turn against Cell. But because going into the next phase against Int Cell with Fat Boo on rotation, but with the Whis, kind of makes it so that he's basically invincible. But and Glorio did a lot of attacks, but sadly without the crits it was not enough. So start getting same type orbs again, I guess. Start building back up towards the next Dokkan attack. I don't know if we'll actually be able to get one in time, but imagine if he still died to this. I mean, we still took a lot of damage. That's with a Whis active as well. That's crazy. I'd have almost preferred to like not have the item active and him just die to that, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess we could use the Sensu Bean. We'll get a decent heal off of Buhan, but it's where these turns start to become scary, because it's like, I've got 3 items left, because I can't count the Sensu Bean, because it is basically pointless. You can die from full health against these bosses, so I really should have changed the Sensu Bean for something else, but like, this is the kind of turn where we shouldn't need an item, really. It's a problem with just too many rainbow orb changes, though. Right, so do I go for an item here? I've got 4 items left. I guess, well, I mean, if we're gonna, we might as well do this. I mean, the rainbow orbs from Mechikabra would give us a heal, but might as well do this. Get the 7 orbs for you. And then, yeah, just hope that Janemba does his job here in slot 1. There we go. Good start. 21 mil here. This Cell does get minus 5% attack with each attack received as well, so as we hit him more, obviously the less damage he does. Not sure if Janemba would live a super here after attacking, but fortunately the 70% dodge coming in clutch. And then Buhan the 26. Can we get a Ghost Kamehameha here maybe? Right, double voice shout. Still 52 mil worth of attack. Hidden potential as well. Only a normal, but we'll take it. And then Mechikabra lowers attack as well. So the fact that Int Boo still hasn't actually died yet, so we can still put Int Boo in slot 1 on the next turn. Should be okay. Because we can also do this. 1 less attack we have to take. And it lowers his attack because he's been attacked. And just grab the same type orbs. So yeah, we shouldn't need to use an item here. With the attack lowering that he's received already and the fact that he gets attack lowered by getting hit as well, everyone on the turn should tank a super after they've attacked. So now we should be fine. And then we have the 3 items for Buhan / Kid Boo. Because I really want to save the robot for Kid Boo. That's going to come in clutch. Especially if we can also get Fat Boo to get killed. Because then that's an extra Ghost Usher as well. Because even if the when you use the robot, I don't think you can use it straight after a Ghost Usher ability, but it still gives the 66% minus attack for 2 turns. So even if it doesn't remove all of his attacks, the 66% attack is going to make a huge difference. So we are relying on Glorio here again, though, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Kid Buu should eat this, right? I mean, he doesn't have Big Bad Bosses active, but... yeah, 103. Nice. Yeah, STR Kid Buu is still an absolute beast. And yeah, unfortunately, Glorio, despite not having to worry about critting now because we have type advantage... I mean, if he gets enough supers off, he does get up to a pretty high attack stat. Even at free-to-play, I've seen mine get up to like 30 mil if he does enough supers in 1 turn. So he could kill Cell here. Do I want him to? I kind of want Int Fat Buu on turn 1 against the Buuhan though, so he can just get killed straight away. But which I guess I could Ghost Usher and use the normal Ghost Usher on the first turn. It depends how many attacks there are in slot 1 actually. See, there's only 1, which means Fat Buu probably doesn't die to that. See, this is one of those turns where it's like, I really don't like need to use an item, but if like Buuhan gets supered, I think we might die. Because he doesn't have guard, and we are fighting an extreme class enemy. Yeah, it's a tough one. We'll do that. See, it's so hard to know what to do here. I think we should be okay. Obviously, if Janemba actually dodges, like, the ideal scenario is that he just supers Janemba and Janemba dodges, but... but yeah, this guy can't be stunned. He can be sealed, but we don't have any sealers. He has the heal ability. He gets 10% attack with each turn passed. But obviously, with hitting him with some attack lowers and stuff, that should counteract that a little bit. This is going to kill me, isn't it? Double digit. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Buuhan. That's a 3 million damage super with type disadvantage, or type advantage over us. And it did double digit damage. That's crazy. Alright, well, we take those. So, best case scenario, I guess, is if he's attacking a whole bunch in slot 1, he just kills Fat Buu on the next turn. That puts us back to this rotation, which then can obviously do a lot of damage. And then we start busting out the items against Kid Buu, I guess. It depends how many attacks there are in slot 1. If there's like 3 or 4, then we're basically good to go to like put Fat Buu in slot 1 and him just die. But yeah, we'll see. Need to see what the attack pattern is like on this next turn. 2. No, that's not really enough. I mean, it could be, especially if he supers. So I guess we just go for it. We use your active skill, because obviously if he doesn't kill Fat Buu will get to super, and then like STR Kid Buu should just kill him. Oh, of course, yeah, he's been attack lowered anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I think this means we are pretty good to go here now, because next turn we just use the Ghost Usher robot, and then... although I really want Janemba to get a dodge in so that he can get his extra attacks and all the buffs and everything. Although he dodged on the first turn, so he doesn't need to get a dodge on this next turn. So yeah, I think Ghost Usher, like the attack, the robot Ghost Usher, maybe. Yeah, because robot Ghost Usher, that gives him the minus 66% attack for the turn where he comes back. Throw the Whis out, and then that's like guaranteed W. But this is what I mean about the items, right? I've gotten to this point multiple times and then died. Whereas like we get to this point now, just throw out like all the items you have left. We're literally throwing everything at him except for the kitchen sink, and then that means we're going to win. So doing it with no items, very, very difficult. I don't know. This is one of those stages where like I don't even feel the desire to like after this try and come back and do it with no items. Maybe once, like, you know, if my summons in part 2 are a bit luckier and I actually get some of the part 2 LRs, because my luck has been quite bad. Well, actually, yeah, since we didn't kill him, we just do this. So Buhan will kill him, and then we can go on to the last phase. We've still got all of our items. So we should be good. Because, yeah, Buhan finishes him off. Gets a crit and just one-shots him there. So, okay, Kid Buu. Kid Buu super attacks for 4.2 million. Every time he gets hit, he gets an extra 7% attack. So, safe to say that he is absolutely ridiculous. So we're going to go ahead and use the robot. So, Ghost Usher. We also give him minus 66% attack for the next turn. And then we do this. And then we do this. Because we'll save the active skill, because obviously if we need to use it, we can just use it to finish him off potentially. Maybe I should have used it then, but obviously because it has an action break, it has much more value in turns where he is actually attacking you. So go ahead and do that. With him having minus 66% attack on the next turn, he shouldn't be able to kill anyone anyway. But I think what we do is we just throw out the Whis, which gives us 2 turns with the Whis, and if he's somehow still alive after that, we have the other Ghost Usher. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy, like how much we have to throw at him here. I mean, let me know how you guys got on. I'm sure some of you guys have managed to get the good RNG, get it done with no items. It's funny, I went to check the records thing that the game shows you now, where it shows you a bunch of teams that other people used to beat the event. Now, it doesn't show you whether they used items, but almost every single one on the first page, like, list is just all the new Tech Vegito team. Which kind of isn't surprising, but, you know, I don't have him, so... Because it's not only just the fact that he's so good, it's the fact that running double leads for him. Obviously, not only do you have the higher stats in terms of the defense, but you have so much more HP as well. Because if the team actually had 1 million HP, like, I would have lived that run I said where, like, Buhan got supered for 900k. Because every other attack on the turn was just normals for double digits. But, yeah, so hopefully we get some better luck in the part 2 summons. Although I'm not going to be going into part 2 with many stones. So... I guess we'll see how that goes. A lot of attacks in slot 1 here is good for Janemba for the dodge chance. So let's do this. Oh no. Okay, well. I guess I was going to do this anyway. Why did I think that Janemba was already in slot 1? I may have fumbled this real bad. I mean, the 66% minus attack hopefully is enough that Buhan tanks here, but like if he gets supered in slot 1, I'm not sure what will happen. I mean, his attack's been lowered by 66% and we have 40% damage reduction from the Whis, so I would assume that we would be fine even if he's slot 1 supered, but oops. Alright, Ghost coming with Hars. I mean, we might actually just kill him this turn, to be fair. Buhan can do a lot of damage. Janemba, I think his buff was probably worn off, right? Which is one of the reasons why we wanted him to be in slot 1, so he could get hit and get the additional. Because, yeah, how much is this going to do on this turn? Will this do double-digit damage, or is it going to do more than that? So it did 30k. Okay, so not quite double digits, but bear in mind, that is this Kid Buu with minus 66% attack from an item, and us having 40% damage reduction, and it still did 30k. Now, obviously 30k is not a lot, but when you consider all of that other stuff, like all those other factors, and he still did that much damage, like that's actually kind of ridiculous. So I guess what we do here then is we can literally, there's no reason to take any risks whatsoever. Like I said, if you've used an item, you might as well use all the items. So there's no reason for us to take any risks here at all. And we just use the Ghost Usher and then kill him. So yeah, this run was an absolute nightmare. Like I say, it took me multiple attempts, like hours of recording time, trying to do this with no items. And I mean, even this run, the recording time is getting close to 30 minutes, and this is with using what, I guess we did use one of the sensu beans, right? So like 7 items to get through. Because with the right RNG, like I say, that run that I lost where Buhon got hit by the super, literally I was going to win next turn. So with the right RNG, like, it absolutely can be done with no items, but damn, it takes a lot of time and a lot of attempts, which, you know, once it gets to a certain point, once I've been recording for like, you know, 3.5 hours and still haven't actually done the stage, I kind of want to just get it over and done with, you know. So there you go, finally beaten stage 3, Dragon Ball Z edition. 3 more stages to come after this, so no telling how much harder than these stages they're going to be, because this third and final one, definitely the hardest of the 3. So let me know how you guys got on down below in the comment section. What team builds did you use? Did you use items or support memory, any of that kind of stuff? If you did manage to get it done with no items, then obviously GG. Let me know what team build you guys used down below in the comment section. But yeah, we finally managed to get it done. We can go ahead and claim our mission here for actually beating the stage. Now puts me just over 200 stones, but there you go. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.